Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, Sock versus Lin. This game taking place here on Northern Isles. On the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have, well, Sock spawning as the blue human player. Meanwhile, Lin spawning as the yellow orc player over here on the top right. Game getting underway, opening things up with Altar of Storms, Orc Burrow. We won't really know any strategies until the timing from, that barracks and perhaps that war mill. Why am I having a hard time remembering all of the buildings all of a sudden? It's been a moment apparently trying to get back into the driver's seat of watching Warcraft 3. Now, anyways, should be a good game here. Let's go ahead and speed things up, get to that 2-minute mark. Um, and for all of you guys who are still watching my videos daily, thank you very much. I've been playing a little bit of Stormgate, at least the campaign, and it I don't know, for some reason I feel like I've just lost a little bit of the magic in playing a real-time strategy game for an extended period of time. Hours in the day simply not enough to enjoy casting, playing, getting good at a game, and learning everything there. We'll see what comes of Battle Aces. Battle Aces, on the flip side, I did play it quite a bit. I enjoyed it, had a lot of fun in that PvP arena. And at the same time, though, there is a lot of balancing that needs to be done in Battle Aces in order to kind of find its identity. Because there are no racial factions and racial identities, and all of the identity needs to be built into the units themselves and the possible decks that can be made. And it feels like, the team at Uncapped Studios is trying to flesh that out and figure out, and as they expand their player base and make sure that their meta can develop and not become stale. That's one thing that was mentioned by the players or the developers, that when it is only an in-house game and in-house development, the meta can become a little bit stale because there's only at most 2-3 dozen people playing at a time, and it doesn't translate into an evolving meta which is necessary for a competitive real-time strategy game. Now, off to the north here, Lin actually going for a fast expansion after, actually, no, not a fast expansion, just clearing out of this expansion location. We'll keep an eye on that spot to see if he does try to fast expand. He is teching the tier 2. There is that war mill. There is a voodoo lounge as well. And we could be getting in some spirit lodges and a bestiary to help finish everything off. Meanwhile, Archmage sitting at level 2 wants to get to level 3. Level 2 Water Elemental significantly better. As I've said in the past, those odd levels so incredibly important, as the Farseer now comes across here. Alright, a little bit of damage, a little bit of poking. I believe there was a reveal right there. Yeah, knows that the creep camp has been cleared, but no expansion. Water Elemental actually taken out by the creeps there, so no experience for that Farseer, as the Farseer cleans things up there. Experience pretty much neck and neck the same, 461 and 450 here, as we're looking at the Farseer now trying to make its way back off to the north. Footman rounding things around here. Meanwhile, tech to tier 2 nearly done by Sock. Back off to the south side. Spirit Wolf, getting in some easy damage. That Farseer actually tanking quite a bit. Book of the Dead has been picked up. Meanwhile, Archmage going to try and go after this 544 Ogre Magi and Tuskar creep camp here. This will give level 3. It's a bit aggressive though, as he wants to grab that Ogre Magi item and then perhaps will be forced to use that Scroll of Town Portal to gain leave. Alright, a couple of footmen are going to get lost. There's one footman already down, and the second footman perhaps will be able to get away. The bestiary not yet done. There's a chain lightning, and there goes another footman there. Nicely played by Lin, using that chain lightning to ensure the kill there, as the Farseer gets some healing salve and clarity potions going. Meanwhile, Archmage comes back around trying to deal with these headhunters, as we should be looking at a tech to tier 3 for Berserkers. Otherwise, that Mountain King, as he levels up, that Thunderclap is just going to become too powerful at melting down those lower hit point Headhunter varieties. Only 375 compared to the 475 of those Berserkers. Tauren Chieftain making his play out here. Spirit Lodge, Bestiary ready to go. Both sides sitting at tier 1. Mountain King perhaps going to get in some little bit of bash damage on that Farseer, but not really trying to engage yet, as the Spirit Wolf is just going to get shot down or resummoned back to the south here, as a Book of the Dead used to quickly get a surround. Mountain King is in some serious trouble. We see a Book of the Dead and Dire Wolf surround on that level 1 Mountain King. An easy death there, as the priest now needs to be a little bit careful. Are we going to see some more, well, death on those archers again, as the Archmage is trying to fight their way through, and we now see the priest looking to back away. Tauren Chieftain out on the battlefield, sitting at level 1, fighting alongside all of those headhunters, opting to go for endurance or a first, while increasing the amount of damage, all of the passive damage that these headhunters do, also clearing out these creep camps faster as you're able to get to them faster with that slight movement speed. Coming back around here, Archmage trying to test the waters, trying to get a little bit of damage onto that Tauren Chieftain down to 162 hit points. I'm going to be forced to retreat back. There's a little bit of damage here as the Archmage comes in to clean up the remainder of the creep camp, but well, Tauren Chieftain, I believe, did get the item, but desperately wants level 2. Coming back across, Archmage gonna clean up that Null Warden there. Meanwhile, Farseer, Tauren Chieftain looking to clear out this Polar Furbolg Tracker and Tuskar Sorcerer creep camp. There's level 2 there. Now, level 1 Stomp perhaps going to go into level 2 Stomp. And with Stomp on the table, well, we still don't see an Arcane Vault yet, and no Blacksmith. Alright, so Sock going for 1 base Human Blade, no Arcane Vault, no Blacksmith. Does that mean... Wait, no, there's the Blacksmith. I'm like, I see Rifleman out on the battlefield. Yeah, so it is going to be Rifle Caster of the simple variety, as the Archmage still wandering around here. Tauren Chieftain going to test as the Farseer backs away. Tauren Chieftain going to get that much closer to level 3. Alright, pick up some items, clear things out. Pendant of Energy, Pure Up the Vitality. That Tauren Chieftain is looking scarier and scarier by the moment. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Mountain King sitting at level 2. He has some survivability items as well, with that Potion of Invulnerability, but more importantly, Wand of Mana Stealing and a Potion of Greater Mana. That level 3 skill, either Thunderclap or Stormbolt, gonna, well, do quite a number, as the Arcane Tower getting focused down here. Farseer gonna try and put in pressure. Tauren Chieftain perhaps gonna land a Stomp, and there's no Stomp. Arcane Tower there, as we see a Thunderclap coming back across, pretty much hitting all of those headhunters now. Mountain King gonna be in a good spot to try and get another Thunderclap here on all of those headhunters who are retreating back. Are they gonna stay within range of the Scroll of Town portal? No, one of them is left behind, but Lyn, well, fortunate enough to be able to retreat back with that unit. Alright, Mountain King did use the Potion of Greater Mana. That is important to know. Also used 1 charge of that Wand of Mana Stealing. So very much heavily invested to try and clear out some of those headhunters, and it did not really pay off the dividends that he needed. Meanwhile, only 1 Shaman left on the top left there. More creeping getting underway. Archmage is looking to back up. Mountain King wants to get to level 4, as level 4 means level 2 Stormbolt on top of level 2 Thunderclap. Units getting caught in transit as Lyn ensnares down a Rifleman there. That's going to get picked apart, and that seems to be, well, another fortunate break for Lyn. 46 supply compared to 46. Level 4, level 3 going up against level 4, level 3. We see an Expo off to the north here. We are still sitting at tier 2. No upgrade to tier 3. Priests are here. Do they have adept training? They do, and there's a quick dispel magic, as the Shamans are now trying to make their way over, perhaps to get a couple of purges. Are we going to get in some Thunderclaps on all of these units? There's a Thunderclap. 1 Grunt should end up getting cleaned up here. 1 more shot. Oh my goodness, that Mountain King wants to catch up to it. Will he be able to finish it off? The Wolf able to, however, get the last hit and deny the experience. Alright, didn't want to use the Stormbolt on the Grunt, ends up losing the experience anyways there, and you use the Stormbolt on the Spirit Wolf instead. 46 supply compared to 52. Sock finally pushing into low upkeep. Meanwhile, all of this off of 1 Arcane Sanctum and 1 Barracks. So single barracks, a single arcane sanctum producing units as the Great Hall is now nearly done. All right, Water Elemental is going to try and poke apart this Great Hall. Fortified armor now completed. Chain Lightning bouncing around. Mountain King is going to try and get a Thunderclap. Yes, does hit about half a dozen units. Tauren Chieftain not as lucky, only hitting 3 or 4, but that stun does make a difference as the Mountain King. Is he going to get surrounded again? Tauren Chieftain still down to 215 hit points. Mountain King, he's going to try to go for a Thunderclap. Yes, he does. There it is, stunning down all of those peasants. Meanwhile, the grunts and all of these units are getting a little bit separated as well. Mountain King should have another Thunderclap here ready to go. Is he going to Thunderclap? Yes, he does. There's 1, there's 2 down. Mountain King now up to level 4 as we are looking at that Thunderclap damage really translating to a decent amount of AoE. However, the peasants are now back into their peasant form, no longer in militia, so what is going to end up going down here as more battling raging on? Raider down to 13 hit points. He gets easily finished off. Arcane Vault trying to be built, and this is a forward outpost by Sok to try and, well, get some potion and some items. Riflemen regurgitated their 41 supply compared to 30, as Lin could be in a little bit of trouble trying to, well, stop this Arcane Vault from being completed. Arcane Vault is done. A little bit of items ready to go. There's a Scroll of Regeneration and a Clarity Potion for that Mountain King, as these peasants could retreat back. Yes, I am back. Thank you for tuning in. Waiting to see what my views are on YouTube after a month-long hiatus. Yeah, so remember to like, comment, all of that social media jazz that makes me relevant in the ever-dwindling WarCraft 3 community. Coming back around, Mountain King, Rifleman, Priest making its way down across here. Shaman gonna get cleaned up. Farseer sitting at level 4, nearly at level 5. Meanwhile, Archmage Mountain King could try and go for a double level up here. The Forest Troll Warlord, remember, was taken out earlier, as the Mountain King, nearing maximum mana, doesn't want to waste any of the mana here, knowing that, well, he wants all 390 to be topped off, ready to go in an upcoming fight. Alright, Farseer gets to level 5, Tauren Chieftain gets to level 4, meanwhile Archmage, well, not too far behind, nearly at level 5, and we'll see what comes of that, as we do see Shadow Wolves out here on the battlefield. Alright. Now, we are going into Kodo Beast. There is that transition now away from Headhunters. As I mentioned earlier, Headhunters cannot be your main source of range unit damage. As the game progresses, the lower hit point status of those Headhunters means that after 2 level 3 Thunderclaps, they're pretty much just picked off for dead. Archmage gets up to level 5, opts for level 3 Water Elementals. Mountain King gets a little bit more experience, not much to really write home about though, as this Arcane Vault still reminiscent of that outpost and could come into use if, well, Sok tries to push. Alright, 55 supply compared to 50. Army sizes are about the same. Mountain King, well, looking Hood of Cunning, Agility, and Intelligence. That 390 Mountain King is currently invisible, wants to Thunderclap, wants to cause problems. Tauren Chieftain, similar strategy here. What's going to go down? There's going to be a massive stomp across nearly a dozen, or well, 9 units there. There's a Chain Lightning. No follow-up Lightning Shield, though, as we do see a couple of reveals here. Tauren Chieftain going to have a little bit of trouble. May need to use a Potion of Healing. There's another stomp once more. There goes a Water Elemental. Mountain King wants to be in that front line spot, perhaps get in some more Thunderclaps, and, well, that slow clap dealing quite a bit of damage, removing those Spirit Wolves alongside that Dispelled Magic. Alright, Mountain King currently ensnared, currently in a bad spot. Gonna walk forward a little bit, get in another another Thunderclap there. Are we gonna see a Stormbolt? Yes, finds the back of a Raider, and it takes it down. Mountain King continuing to lead the pursuit, lead the charge, and the chase here. Tauren Chieftain perhaps picking up some more survivability items. Arcane Vaults acting more as an outpost to keep track of this expo, make sure no additional gold is being mined. As the gold mines start to run out here, we are down to about 7 minutes of mining on both sides. Farseer needs level 6 and a mana pot. Yeah, level 3 Chain Lightning and some all of that would work rather well together. Mountain King, no reveals. I believe that Crystal Ball was sold earlier. Also, no Arcane Sentry. no Arcane Sentry to be researched, even though I believe it is available because the Arcane Vault was built out front. All right, what are we looking at? A second Arcane Sanctum, perhaps to try and transition into Spellbreakers, but that's going to be an odd upgrade or a pivot as we see 2-0 upgrades on the Rifleman and, well, no upgrades for those Spellbreakers at all. Yes, it will benefit from not from being immune to Stormbolt, but they're also going to be dealing less damage. Riflemen, well, dealing 20% more or 21% more damage compared to their non-upgraded variety. I love it when players drop their circlets and pop a mana potion. Yep. All of those small things that you do to get a slight advantage. Shadow Wolves are now coming across here. Perhaps the Spellbreakers do have control magic. That would be an interesting pick off there. Mountain King gets up to level 5 here. Level 3 Thunderclap. There's a Stormbolt onto a Shaman. Shaman easily picked off here as the Mountain King, well, going back and forth. A couple of Skeletal Warriors getting cleaned up, summoned by that Nerubian Web Spinner. Well, animate dead, and those guys do give experience and still give gold as we see a Stormbolt shaken off by a potion of lesser invulnerability. Mountain King currently stunned by the stomp now. Thunderclap now going back the other way. It may not sound like much of a difference, but that 2-second stun means that the follow-up Thunderclap is also going to be a little bit later as well. There's a Stormbolt onto the Kodo Beast, a stun onto all of the units that were trying to focus down the Kodo Beast there as the Mountain King currently low on mana. Both sides fighting their way through. Arcane Shield, or Lightning Shield onto that Tauren Chieftain. Both sides fighting again. There's a quick whisk away. Sock able to escape at 48 supply. Now, interesting choice not to take down this Arcane Vault after all this time. Perhaps researching Pillage and just bringing the Raiders there to remove that spot. A new Arcane Vault was built back at home, and I don't know if Lin knew that that Arcane Vault was the only Arcane Vault for a bit. If that Arcane Vault out in that forward spot was taken out, that would have stopped the production or that would have stopped the training of those Spellbreakers. No Arcane Vault there. Mountain King still back invisible once more as the Archmage, well, opting to head out again. All right. Nope. Archmage not heading out. Water Elemental invisible, going to be checking out Expos. All right. Continuing this one base play. 4.5 minutes of mining now on both sides. Mountain King coming back across. Archmage, Mountain King, level 5. No real hero level advantage. No real army size advantage. Greatly favoring Sock as there's only 2 peasants on lumber. All right, and this is without a lumber mill. I don't know quite how he's able to do this. Perhaps he built up a larger cache with those peasants early on, and that's why we saw so many militia being brought out into the battlefield only to die. We're looking at a 49 supply compared to a 38 supply. Now, that is, well, a 25% larger army for Sock than Lin. As the Mountain King gonna test the waters here. What is he gonna try and buy? This Tauren Chieftain is not invisible, and here we are. Here's a potential engagement. There's a Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain as it looks to back away. Mountain King gonna go ahead and get a good Thunderclap across multiple units. Mountain King, however, could be in a little bit of trouble. There's an Ensnare, and now there's a Stomp. Invisibility not turning on. Mountain King could be in trouble. He's getting purged down. He's getting healed. He's trying to Thunderclap his way out of a tight spot, and he is gonna end up falling. Mountain King ends up falling at level 5, and this could be the thing that unravels Sock. All right, without that level 5 Mountain King, well, the army just seems that much weaker. But how much was invested to try and take down the Mountain King? That is the question now. 42 supply compared to 51. Archmage gets up to level 6. There's another Stomp there. There's a Dust of Appearance. Archmage is going to be revealed. Invisibility is not going to help. There's another Water Elemental, and that could be the game. Both level 6 Archmage and level 5 Mountain King have fallen. opening things up for a level 6 Farseer as the Mountain King comes back out. There's a Stormbolt, and he's going to try and finish off the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain now down to 200 hit points. Mountain King, there's a Thunderclap. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the Tauren Chieftain, down to 44 hit points. That only lasts for 7 seconds. Mountain King trying to figure out a way. Tauren Chieftain able to escape again as we see another ensnare go down here. More heals are going to be necessary, but remember, without the Archmage, the mana on the Priest simply does not stack up, well, continuously. Raider gets taken on. Are we going to see a Dispel? No Dispel there. Mountain King sitting at level 5. Could get to level 6. Just needs a little bit more damage. There's level 6 now on the Mountain King. A little bit of bonus hit points as the Mountain King turns back around. Is he going to try to get a Stormbolt? No, he is not. Mountain King just trying to retreat back away as we see the Spellbreakers coming back around. Mountain King is going to turn things around. Stormbolt there. There's a Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer, there's an Ensnare, and the Mountain King about to get taken out. He ends up falling. All right, Tauren Chieftain still alive. Farseer still alive, hanging on barely by a thread here. Tauren Chieftain back at home. He needs to get some healing salve, perhaps some long-distance gold mining necessary to buy that healing salve there. Farseer falls at level 6 as the Archmage is back out onto the battlefield. All right, resurrecting at the tavern, expensive propositions as Sok is sitting at 49, Lin sitting at 30. All right. The Archmage, the leader of the human army, back at it, ready to go. Mountain King, yes, getting resurrected back at home. Every gold ever so precious now as long-distance mining to get every bit of gold well, that you can. 47 supply compared to 19. Sok played a little bit clumsily, right? Overextending with that Mountain King that did not have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, got surrounded, and pretty much or nearly gave the game away to Lin. Now Lin, with both heroes nearly full on hit points, ready to lead the charge back here. Archmage coming back around. That is a rather large army. Militia are here as well, and trying to attack down the army with, well, Lightning Shield is a big plan, as many of those peasants are just going to get cleaned up there. There goes one Raider. Archmage is in trouble, down to 500 hit points. He's going to try and retreat back. There goes another Ensnare, and that level 3 stun lasts for so long that the Riflemen were unable to attack. Level 7 now on the Archmage. Will that extra little bit of hit points be enough? Archmage down to 40 hit points, down to 3, and nope, ends up getting taken out. Farseer now up to level 7. 24 supply compared to 36. Mountain King still needs quite a bit of time before it can make its way out. And, well, he's going to come back to the party and ask what he missed, only to see level 7 Farseer, level 6 Tauren Chieftain waiting outside to cause more problems. All right, Sorceress, Priest, or Rifleman. That Rifleman could easily get taken down. Grunt could turn back. Well, are we going to turn back around? There goes one. There goes another. That Shadow Wolf getting in 2 quick kills. Well, getting 6 supply there as we see a Potion of Invulnerability on the Farseer. All right, Mountain King out for blood, out for vengeance. Is he going to be able to do anything there as the Riflemen are just getting picked off by these invisible Shadow Wolves? All right. With no form of detection, well, the Shadow Wolves have been able to really clean up and play with their food as we're finally out of gold here. Mountain King, is he going to try and sell and, well, tries to resurrect the Archmage here. More long-distance mining happening off to the north. Shadow Wolves are in position, and what is going to happen now? 24 supply compared to 16, but the Archmage is getting resurrected. All right, coming down to the wire here. What can happen? Farseer, Stomp, or Farseer, level 3 Chain Lightning, Stomp, Tauren Chieftain ready to push on in at this front door spot. Here we are, here we go. Shadow Wolves, and then is just able to engage easily. Come up, disrupt the healing, disrupt the mana that the Mountain King wants so desperately. And here we are. There's a Stomp right there. Well, Chain Lightning bouncing around. Tauren Chieftain cannot get knocked down. If he is knocked down, he'll just get back up again as the Mountain King goes in for another Thunderclap. And that Tauren Chieftain, well, ensures the win there, able to dive in and come away with the victory. Lin outlasting Sok in this well, one base game here on the Northern Isles. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. What would you have done differently? Missteps, miscues, missed opportunities? Let me know in the comments below.